Hi there. I'm Tracy Bates, and this is Lorna Hennington with the Bates Hennington Real Estate Group. We're back this time to talk about Governor Newsom's four-stage plan to gradually reopen California.
We know everybody wants to get back to as normal as possible, but we've got to really keep in mind what the health experts are saying and make sure that this is done in a very thoughtful, methodical way. We're not just running out willy-nilly. I was coming home from a listing appointment yesterday and the freeways were just packed. And first I wondered where everybody was going because nothing's open. But I think people are just really feeling like they want to get out. But we've got to be really careful. The virus has not gone away.
No, it's not gone away. And yeah, we do want to get out, but we want to be safe. So he laid out a bunch of different indicators for listing the orders. They include benchmarks for expanding the state's testing capacity, protecting our most vulnerable people, addressing the needs of hospital workers, working on developing therapeutics and potentially a vaccine, and deciding on how physical distancing will work when these orders are finally lifted. These indicators are going to help guide when the state can take each step to ease restrictions, according to Governor Newsome. With this in mind, he's laid out 4 stages, but remember, local officials can speed up or slow down these stages. So Garcetti may have a different response. Yeah, safety and preparedness is where we are now. Making the essential workforce environment as safe as possible is the first on the list.
So we're in stage 1 now. Okay, we're all, getting tired of it, but we move to stage 2 just willy-nilly. So right now we are slowly going into stage 2, according to Newsome and also Garcetti, because they're happy with some of the benchmarks. So they're going to perhaps, and they really haven't laid out a lot of detail about this yet, but this is what we can expect to see over the next couple of weeks. There are going to be some modified school programs and child care programs that are going to reopen. Some offices are going to reopen, but they are advising that if you can work from home, you should, and hopefully your employer is going to be amenable to that. And there'll be some parks and trails and other public spaces that are going to open. Unfortunately, not Runyon Canyon yet. We know that's a big old favorite, but just a little bit too much socializing on that hilltop while everybody's breathing hard. There's some focus on particular retail that's going to be open to the extent that you can make a purchase and pick things up curbside. They want us to, those retail businesses to establish hands-free ways to pay for those items for bookstores, music stores, toy stores, because we got to entertain the kids. Oh my goodness. Florists, because hey.
Oh, wait a minute, but about florists. Did you see today, downtown Flower Mart? It was packed this morning. There was no social distancing happening. So I begged my husband not to go give me flowers this Mother's Day. Like, don't go.
That Mother's Day is great, but not if you end up making mothers sick.
No.
That's okay. Oh wow, I'm sorry to hear that. Oh my.
Yeah.
I did not for myself, but for 1-800 flowers for my daughter's graduation.
Yep. Smarter way to
go. Yeah, it's not the cheapest, but so florists are going to be opening with curbside pickup, and unfortunately something else is going on at the Flower Mart. Sporting retailers, so we can try to stay in shape, clothing stores, so we can wear comfortable clothes around the house. That seems
I
like
need more joggers.
Yeah, I think some more stretch bands.
Party on the bottom.
Yeah, right. You can't see what's going on down here. And then manufacturers, which is important, manufacturers and suppliers that provide goods for these businesses are also going to be allowed to open, but they've got to have certain protections like closing the indoor break rooms and carrying sanitation materials and making sure their employees have protective gear. And actually for everyone that's reopening, the retail businesses and manufacturers, they've got to create a plan to protect their employees and customers. And there wasn't a lot of detail about how the state and even on the local level is going to check to make sure that's in place. But hopefully we'll get more details on that very, very soon. Things like shopping malls, pet groomers, swap meets, dine-in restaurants, still closed. state and locally. We need a lot more specificity before that can happen. And just remember that the stay-at-home order and just going to the grocery store as necessary, to the hospital, or to take your pet to a vet appointment, and other necessary trips, those you can still do. But otherwise, the stay-at-home order is still in effect. And of course, the masks are still required if you're going to be interacting with others. And then Garcetti, who is kind of following what the state is doing at this point with this second phase, which is basically the first phase of reopening with curbside pickup for those retailers. And just bearing in mind that if the numbers start to tick up, both on the state and the local level, things could really get shut down again. So it's important while we're out there to continue to follow those safety guidelines, because otherwise we are just due for another lockdown. The city is setting up a website to provide updates on its plan for lifting restrictions. Those updates are at coronavirus.lacity.org/saferla. One final note, the city council has on Wednesday decided they are going to extend the rent freeze for units which are already regulated under the rent control measure. And that is set to stay in effect for a full year after the virus restrictions are lifted.
Right.
Long
So
time.
no one's going to see a rent increase for at least another year, right?
Yep, that's correct.
Okay. Stage 3 involves the higher risk workplaces and the reopening for those. So it's going to be months before hair salons are open, most likely nail salons, gyms, entertainment spaces, houses of worship. All of those are risky to open because of the close proximity. So no more nails for me for a while. Other offices, seated restaurants, shopping malls, those will be delayed as well. Sporting events with no live audiences. So that'll be real interesting, but that's also part of phase 3.
Yeah, I mean, we know we're all making a lot of sacrifices. I had to use L'Oreal, but you know, thumbs up or thumbs down. It's not terrible. It's
Right.
yes, I'm making light of it, but we have to kind of find ways to cope, because it's going to be a long, long time before we're totally back to normal. If ever. I mean, things will probably have changed for the long term.
It'll be a new normal. That's for sure.
Yeah, you're right.
When we talk about stage 4, that's the total end of the stay-at-home order. So that's going to require some therapeutics and may be many, many, many months away. We're talking about vaccines and all of that stuff needs to, kind of be in place before we can just open the floodgates for everybody to go back to this new normal. So concerts, conventions, and sporting events with live audiences will be allowed when all 6 of Governor Newsom's indicators are met. And again, vaccines are more than a year away, so it's going to be a while.
Yeah. I think we just want to remind you guys all that it's important we all be a part of the solution to the extent we can, and not be a part of the problem. Stay at home when you can. Practice physical distancing, please. We really, really want to make sure that we try and control the spread of this virus as much as we all can, and be patient with this reopening process and the guidelines that are being put into place, so we can try to get back to, a regular reality.
Yeah, we're all in this together, whether we like it or not. My life depends on what you do, and your life depends on what I do. Know that you can always reach us by phone or email. Our email is experts@bateshennington.com. Our phone numbers, mine is 310-739-6884. Lorna's is 323-356-3675. We also have a fantastic website with lots of information at www.bateshennington.com. So contact us if you need to. Thank you so much for watching. Be safe, and we will see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.